Today's topic is the dark side of Facebook ads, what no one tells you. And before we start, I have to do something dark side, something. There we go. We got it in. Now we'll crack on with the podcast. Facebook ads, not something I ever used when I was doing one-to-one PT. And then Facebook has changed so much. The algorithms, they change all the time. And yeah, there is a kind of dark side to it. And that's what we're talking about today. James, is it a good idea? Is it a good fit for everyone? Should you or shouldn't you?
Good question. No is the answer. It's not for everybody. I'll give you a personal example here at Strength Matters. So we haven't run Facebook ads for a very long time. You know, most of our efforts in marketing comes in organic search coming to us all the time because it just changes. If you get it wrong, it's quite expensive. And also we find our better quality of traffic comes from the organic search into Strength Matters, so the type of people we're working with. Now, it's very different in comparison to people who are doing local search marketing. People who are doing local search marketing, doing local search efforts, it may be different. I know people are getting some great results with that, but it's also very expensive. So when I say that not everybody should be doing it, I think you're going to work out what's your revenue coming into your business at the moment. I think that's the first thing. We have this thing called the Black Belt Revenue Ladder we'll talk about in future episodes, but for us, anyone earning less than, I'd say, $15,000 or pounds a month, I think Facebook ads is not necessarily the best place to start for them. Andrew, what do you think?
Totally agree with that. It's something we've discussed for a long time now within Strength Matters, and we'll cover in other episodes what we feel are the right things to be going at. But initially, and using my experience, Facebook advertising cost me significant amounts of money, and I just wasn't getting the return, and it could have pushed me out of the industry. And I see that with coaching clients that we work with today.
People pushing on Facebook all the time, because I don't know about you, but I get adverts for that kind of thing from gurus on Facebook.
And they're pushing it because they're looking for quick wins with personal trainers, or I think, and even health professionals as well, I think. But the idea is that you've got to get the systems and foundation in place first, because a lot of the time you'll waste a lot of money, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there who feel frustrated or trapped on, like, just exhausted of the whole advertising, Facebook, Meta, whatever you want to call it these days, world, because they lose a lot of money from it and they see no return on that money for multiple different reasons. But the main thing is the Facebook landscape has changed. So now I can say this with confidence that we spent over £250,000 on Facebook ads back in the start of the days between 2010 and 2015. Well, that was the heyday of Facebook advertising, right? Where you could just put an ad up line and you get results and sales straight away because no one is used to it. However, there's Facebook ad fatigue right now. I think people are just switching off. They're just going through it straight away. So it's very much, the game has changed completely. So that's why we switched it off. We were losing money on the ads. Right, and people could argue that, hey, it wasn't, maybe you weren't doing it right. Well, no, we're following all the best advice, but we just found that our organic search traffic was far better coming from Google. We had a better return, better stick rate with all our people, so we focused all our efforts there. So, like I said, it's something just to be wary about, and just don't just get sucked in by this Facebook marketing promise you're going to have, because the landscape is changing, and I think it's going to be harder and harder to advertise on stuff like Facebook and Instagram with all the different privacy laws coming in too. And I think for anyone earning less than $15,000 a month in their fitness business, you will get far better return if you get things and systems set up in your business at an early stage, with a better website, for example, with a system that can handle these leads coming in as well. Because it's one thing like getting people coming to you, it's another thing completely handling them. Most people don't have the systems and infrastructure set up to help them deal with that. So it's one of those things where I know why they're trying to do it, to get more leads and generate more money as quickly as possible, because most people are, they have cash flow issues in their fitness business. However, right, just to heed my warnings, just stuff we've seen over the years with different people, it's not the solution that's going to work long term.
Facebook for me is generalist, and it's where I go to just check up on friends and stuff like that. And Google is specific. That's where I go to look at businesses if I want to go to a coffee shop or a restaurant or any sort of business that I actually want to potentially buy something from. I'd always go to Google. Sorry for interrupting, Andrew. Where you go?
No, that's fine. It's a valid point. I was just going to say, plus ad costs are going up. There's limited ad space available on the likes of Meta and other social media platforms. So it's demand and supply. So pricing costs, advertising costs go up, and it puts it out of reach for a lot of fitness professionals these days.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point, actually. So, like, this is where I keep saying to people, like, focus your efforts on the free, easy stuff, like the low-hanging fruit. I think that's what I try and get across to people. It's like, okay, yes, should paid advertising be part of your strategy for fitness business? Yes, 100%, absolutely. However, earn the right to get there. Earn the right to do that. I would personally advise people now focusing on getting the systems right, set a system set up, getting a website that works. Because guess what? If your website is slow, it doesn't have the right keywords, guess what happens to your ad costs? They go up. So you've got to be targeted to what you're trying to advertise in the first place. And it's all about this experience. I think Google call it EAT, the double EAT, the DEAT experience. And we'll go and get another episode about it in the future line, but it's all about experience, user experience. If your website is slow, if your landing page is slow, even if you haven't got a website, and the page doesn't match to what the advertising is, your costs will go up because the experience is not as good as what it tries to get. So it's so many different moving factors. So, like, I would say literally in this order, if you want to get things right in terms of advertising, get your infrastructure right, get the home base set up first, i.e. website, CRM system, email marketing systems, all these things, automation systems, all these things going on here, right? Then you set yourself up for Google. So you want to get yourself into Google Business and start these little things here, and then optimize for Google so people can find you organically. And then I'd go for Google ads first over like in Facebook advertising and things like, because that's more of an awareness thing. It's like I said, like Josh said, you go there for just general things like social things, hanging out, not really for, like selling. It's just more of an awareness thing that drives them back to your HQ, your hub, your nerve center, which is the website, your CRM system, and everything else in between.
Absolutely. So we're looking at sort of getting yourself on Google rankings, referrals, networks, stuff like that. And as you say, if you're not earning beyond 15k per month, then Facebook ads are definitely something you should be thinking about later.
Yeah.
Andrew, could you just sum up some of the key takeaways if you could before we sign off?
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. Yeah, but so as we say, Facebook ads, they can be effective, but they're not for everybody, and we would say look at them when you're around about the 15k revenue mark. If you're not at that 15k revenue mark per month, and as we find you're lacking foundation of business systems, that's where we suggest you start. Get those local search listings optimized, look for organic growth, and grow from there. That's the best way forward on that for us.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think it's like our system of athletic training. It's like if you haven't got the base of the pyramid or the base of the house, the foundations, everything will crumble. So that system infrastructure is your foundation to set you up for long-term success. Because we always look at launch, grow, and scale your business. So most people under 15k are still in their launch phase. If you want to grow and scale, then we need that foundation first, and that's where paid advertising does come in. So yeah,
absolutely.
Great points, guys. Thank you so much for listening. That is it for today. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And if you want to find out what's holding you back from growing your fitness business, go to strengthmatters.com/quiz.